So the center line needs to go exactly where I had the center located, but it needs to extend out about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm using my grip, and I'm going to drag that up 0.12 in distance. It's really not liking me today, isn't it? There we go. And then grab the bottom grip and go 0.12. So that's the center line. That same center line, I'm going to copy it because it needs to be positioned in the middle of this view. And I'll have the same thing. I need to copy the radius hidden line, but it's not going to be hidden anymore. It's going to be the radius in visible because I'll be able to see it from that part, and then offset that 1 inch. So I'm not always using those construction lines. Sometimes it's easier if you know the spacing, the distance, is to just use the offset. The last thing on the top view is locating where these cutouts go. So they say that they're 1.75 from the end. So from this end over, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that as my offset. It also means that in the front view I can see those, so they should be a visible line. From the side, it's offset 0.25. So I can go ahead and offset both of these and trim those up 0.25. In the top view, same thing, it's going to be 0.25 where it starts. So now I can go through, take my object line all the way over to that edge, draw a new line that goes from that 1.75 over to that 0.25 that I just created, and then up to the open slot. Do the same thing on the other side. It goes down to the 1.75. And then I didn't draw the others, so I'm going to again use my mirror command. Use some of these tools as we go through these drawings. The very center part, or midpoint, create along that center line, and it mirrored the top half. So I didn't have to draw all those lines independently then. And that is basically the entire locator part, using some of the components from the module for multi-view drawing. Now I'm going to turn off construction lines so that you can see the remaining part. The center line, when I used it at first, it was helpful just to get my midpoint, but I don't need that. An actual center mark is what you would put. So annotate, use the center mark, and pick the arc. And that gives you that center point for the curvature itself. The last thing that you would do with this part is dimension it. And in the title block, modify the information. So we use our editing tool, click on the text, and you can type over it. So all of these things would get modified per your drawing. Where it says TR, let's just put part. And this is module 6. So we're going to call it module 6 or M6 exercise 10. That'll be its part number. Since this is not the border, this is where you will change it to say locator part. Change your date. Everything else pretty much can stay the same on this. Now, for the dimensions, placement of the dimensions using the rules, setup of the dimension style. Hopefully I already have that done on your B-size border that you're using standard. I check the settings for modifying. I do not. So we need to make sure that we set up how far it extends past the dimension line is 0.12. So I went to the lines tab. Now I'm going to go to symbols and arrows. Make sure those are 0.12. Since we drew all of our center lines, we want to say none. Go to our text box, change the text height to 0.12. nothing on fit, primary units, decimal place, 2 decimals, get rid of the leading, and then say OK, set current, and close. And now you're ready to place your dimensions. So if you have a dimension layer, make sure you're on the dimension layer. And as far as the dimension placement, again, making sure that that's where you see the shape make a change. So we want to make sure that we put the dimensions where we see the shape change. So this hole is hidden in one view, so we definitely don't want to dimension it there. And in this view, we really can't tell what's happening, so we're going to put that in this view. The shape of the part, I want to put here so I can actually see the different heights. So I put the smallest dimension first, and then I can use baseline to get to my overall dimension. So depending on, again, the part was dimensioned from this either end. It doesn't matter to me. We're not using a particular style here. We know from outer edge to where that was located. We know from outer edge to center point location. So when you have dimensions that kind of cross over, you can grab the grip on top of the dimension and place it. Let's zoom in some. Grab the dimension grip on top of the text, and you can move those. So I can take that one and then shift it back over. So these are now not crossing over each other, because you always want to be able to read your dimensions. So this is a symmetrical, so I don't need to dimension the back half. This looks just like it, but I would want to know exactly how far it is from that edge to here. And then I would use my radius on the slot size. I need at least an overall dimension, so I can put that in this view. But I also need to know the angles on this view. So from here to here, and then what is the angle. And again, both sides are the same, so I only need one angle to show that. It is a symmetrical part, so if I went to the center and went 1/2 inch on each side. So that's pretty much the dimensioning for the part. Gives you most of the information and gives you an idea of how you're to complete this drawing.